Inflation is scary. The idea that your dollars don't go as far as they used to is a terrifying prospect, especially when 64% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, as in 64% of Americans don't have any savings. They literally survive off one paycheck to the next. The reality that costs are going up and your wages aren't means you're losing spending power. So every dollar you make now buys less. It's the opposite of a raise. It's an undeserved pay cut that you got for simply existing. Now, inflation is a topic I could spend an hour talking about and explaining, because it isn't as simple as pundits try to make it out to be. It isn't just because of one person, or a spending bill, or a war. It's a deep and nuanced discussion. If you especially want that video, maybe we can do it in the future, but what I would rather talk about right now is the more malicious angle that is rarely ever talked about, and that is shrinkflation. Shrinkflation is a different kind of scary, not something that messes with your head, or breaks into your home, or threatens your existence. This is something sneaky and deceitful that affects all of us, whether we want it to or not. It happens gradually, slowly, so that no one makes a fuss about it. It's a blink and you miss it kind of issue, a technique that companies around the world use to keep record high profits. And what makes it so scary is that most people don't see it happening, and that's intentional. Shrinkflation is the process of items shrinking in size or quality, or even sometimes changing to smaller packaging and reducing quality, while the item's price remains the same or increases. Simply put, this means the goods and services you are purchasing are getting deceptively smaller and you're paying the same amount or more for them. Shrinkflation is a portmanteau of the words shrink and inflation. Take the two words, combine them together, shrinkflation. Now for my favorite part of this video, we're going to look at a bunch of examples, and trust me, these will blow your mind if you haven't already seen them before. These days, it's hard to trust anybody, especially greedy for-profit companies. First up, take a look at this Old Spice deodorant. Same price, smaller amount. They think no one's gonna notice. This Kraft extra cheddar cheese. Before, it came with 16 slices. Now it comes with 14. And better yet, those 14 slices are actually smaller than they used to be. Same price. Spending more cheddar for less cheddar. Here is the Post Cereal Oreo O's. What used to be a 17-ounce box is now an 11-ounce box. Less cereal for the same price means you're paying more for less. It's not just American companies that do this. Check out this box of beef jerky. Once you open it up, you see how little you're actually getting. It's all about cutting corners and increasing profits. Check out this Equate brand hand soap. What used to be 1.65 liters has been manipulated into a bottle that looks larger but actually contains less soap. 1.47 liters in fact. Same price. Check out this plant-based burger. Not only are you getting less now, you're also paying more. Have you ever seen these bags of ice before? What used to be 10 pounds for $2 is now reduced to 7 pounds for $2. Fascinatingly enough, someone caught this transition in progress and took this incredible photo. What an incredible deal for all of us. Have you ever noticed that tissues feel weaker and smaller than they used to? Well, you're not alone. This person had an older box of tissues and compared an older sheet to a newer sheet, and the difference is incredible. We are being cheated in every way by everyone. Here are two cooking cooling racks by Good Cook. The bottom is what used to be sold, and the top is the new and improved model with less material and a higher price. This next one is incredible. Someone had to redo their hardwood floors after 3 years, so they went and purchased the exact same brand and model of hardwood, and look at the difference. These companies are shameless when it comes to keeping record profits. I find this really interesting when you look at the reduction in lumber and wood sizes over the years. Commercialization, mass production, corporate greed, and over-harvesting of trees has resulted in a shocking decline in size and quality of wood. Just look at this. Wow. Check out these containers of all. Not only did they reduce the amount by 1 per container, which is really bizarre to me, only 1, they also redesigned the container to look bigger. It's so deceptive. Have you ever purchased a box of toothpaste only to find out what's inside is not at all what the box would have you to believe? These containers keep shrinking, but the cost sure isn't. This is a family-sized packaging of Keebler's Chips Deluxe cookies with M&Ms. What used to be 487 grams is now 413 grams. Just look at the packaging difference. I love how they kept family size on both to make you think you're getting a great deal. Here's a box of El Monterey taquitos for sale in Canada. Notice the slight difference in amount. 21 is now 20 for the same price. What I love most about this one is how they photoshopped away one of the taquitos. It's the farthest left one that is missing. This was a conscious decision. Absolutely wild. Does anyone remember those chocolate pieces arranged to look like a ball? And they also had this orange flavor taste. I guess they called them orange slices. Well, here is one of those orange pieces now. They can't not make the ball shape, so what could they do? Well, they reduced the size of the mold used to make each slice to save money. Now you get less chocolate, and you still get charged the same. These are cans of Barbasol. On the left is a 2017 can. On the right is a 2020 can. Notice any difference? 10 ounces down to 7 ounces. A huge drop-off. As one commenter put it, Barbasol, celebrating 100 years of screwing you over. How about these organic Sunny Day snack bars? Previously you get 8 in a package, now you get 7. Look at this side-by-side photo of these two Gatorade bottles. What they apparently did was replace the 32-ounce bottle with a 28-ounce bottle for the same price. You remember, with all of these, you're getting less for the same price, which means you're actually paying more. In this case, what they removed is equivalent to a 14% price increase. When Pepsi was questioned about this, here's what they said. Basically, we redesigned the bottle. It's more aerodynamic, and it's easier to grab. The redesign generates a new cost, and the bottles are a little bit more expensive. This is only a matter of design. The fact is, they reduced what you get by 4 ounces and redesigned the bottle so no one would notice. The cost of the design difference is less than 2 cents. Have you ever seen commercials for Procter & Gamble's new Dawn Soap Squeeze bottle? How innovative, right? No lid to close, it self-seals. Wow, so thoughtful of them. Throw a cheap gimmick on top and now they can charge you an extra $1. It's shameless. Think spaghetti is safe? Nope. 454 grams to 410 grams. You get 10% less product with a 100% price increase. This reminds me of that TikTok sound. Nobody's gonna know. How would they know? Even LEGO fans aren't safe. Look at how this Star Wars ship keeps losing quality year after year. Smaller overall, less pieces, less detail, less characters. Wages aren't growing, prices are exploding, and the value of what you can buy is shrinking. It's a lose-lose-lose for normal people. Here is my personal favorite example of shrinkflation. Febreze. The Mandela effect air spray itself went from an aluminum bottle to a plastic bottle. Fair enough, but then they went even further. They reduced the amount you get from 275 grams to 250 grams. Then they raised the price. Well, check this out. I swear this is true, I tested it on my own bottle. But the bottom of the bottle is literally a piece of plastic glued to the bottom. It's a piece of plastic glued to the bottom of the bottle to fool you into thinking you're getting a bigger bottle. I'm speechless. The dishonesty is unbelievable. They glued a piece of plastic to the bottom to make it look just as big as it used to be, even though it's just a piece of plastic. If you have a plastic Febreze bottle right now, go check it out. If you peel the label, you will find that there is a piece of plastic glued to the bottom. I'm not joking. Great value reducing the amount of aluminum foil you get to 100 square feet while still charging you the cost of 120 square feet. Here is an example of just flat out deceptive packaging. Lies to your face in an attempt to maybe get a few more sales. And let's be honest, they wouldn't do this kind of thing if it didn't work. This obviously increases sales. On the left is a 10-count refill of toilet cleaning heads. On the right is the newer box, where they sell the exact same amount, but throw a massive 65% more at the top. It's got a tiny asterisk beside the E, which signifies the actual details and clarification are somewhere else on the packaging for you to find on your own. Remember, whenever you see an asterisk after a claim, you can for sure know that you are being deceived. It's just a clever way to get away with saying whatever they want to say, and then walking it back in legalese. Not my orange juice, say it isn't so, Tropicana here with the same price for less juice. 59 fluid ounces is now 52 fluid ounces. Also, look at how they discreetly restructured the bottle to make it as least noticeable as possible. Here's a bottle of WD-40 with a reduction of 25 milliliters. If that wasn't bad enough, they straight up lie on the top of the bottle and claim you're getting 25 extra milliliters when in fact you've lost 25. Here is the same brand of garlic bread. These boxes were purchased 3 weeks apart. Look at the difference in size from what they used to be to what they are now. Aren't you so tired of being cheated by these companies? I sure am. How about this crazy difference from Yorkshire tea? 240 bags reduced to 210 bags. And then they had the audacity to keep that hideous extra 50% free, where they just fudge the numbers to make it look good either way. The most famous case of shrinkflation is probably this, the Toblerone bar in the UK. Look at that massive, ridiculous spacing. It's so hilarious to look at. What an absurd amount to remove, and they thought that no one would notice. This caused a huge controversy, and unlike us Americans, British fans actually went after them for their deceptive practices, and after 2 years, it forced them to revert back to their original size. Now imagine, if for every example I've shown and covered today, we all said, no, stop cheating us, stop deceiving us, stop lying and cutting corners, we could force a lot of this stuff to change. The fact is, one thing here or one thing there is not destroying us, it's the culmination of everything all together. Everyone's out to get something, and it's hurting all of us. Remember, these companies had multiple options to deal with rising costs, and they chose the absolute most deceitful way to deal with it. So let's talk about some of the solutions. They could have raised costs and sold the same product. People wouldn't have been happy, but at least it's an upfront, honest approach. They could have also created more efficient and less costly packaging and avoided an increase in cost altogether. Maybe it wouldn't have completely covered the cost, but maybe it would have. They could have worked with suppliers and distributors and found out ways to cut costs without hurting the overall quality or quantity of their products. For example, more efficient transportation, more efficient facilities, green and renewable technology to lower production costs, the list goes on. They could move production to a different location with a lower cost of operation, or they could update their technology to increase their efficiency. This isn't an unsolvable mystery, but we live in a society that values capital, money, and profits above all. As a publicly traded company, you have a fiduciary responsibility to make more money for your shareholders every year, indefinitely, forever. Just think about how ridiculous that is. You are the CEO of this company and you made $10 billion this year. Great job. Now make more money the next. And if you don't, we will fire you and replace you with someone that will. Morals, standards, and ethics be damned. The next year you made $12 billion. Fantastic. Great job. Now keep going. Make more money. Now take this concept and spread it out over 50 years. 100 years. Do you see the issue? It's why companies are constantly creating new spin-off brands, new variants of existing products, new portion sizes, new colors, new flavors. Oh God, anything to keep selling you trash. Please keep buying, please keep buying. The entire economy and our company won't survive if you don't buy the newest flavor of chips. A great example is Disney. They are nearly 100 years old, and because of that, they have to go bigger and bigger every single year, forever. If a movie doesn't somehow make an unfathomable billion plus, it's a failure. It's why they purchased Pixar, 20th Century Fox, Marvel, Star Wars. They have to keep the brand growing like an out-of-control blob, absorbing and eating everything in its path. How do we keep making money? How do we reduce costs? Fire 28,000 employees? Done. Build a streaming service? You got it. Reduce costs by cutting down on the quality? Done. Increasing prices? More money for us, less product for you, now consume. That is the fundamental flaw with the way capitalism is structured today when it comes to publicly traded companies. This is where the intersection of government is supposed to come in and make it so they don't screw you over. But it's been a lifetime or two since the government actually did that. They have become so ineffectual, toothless, and pathetic that most people don't realize that they have all the power in the world to make your life better. They just choose not to. The government is made up of people. It isn't some scary boogeyman pulling the strings from behind a curtain. These are corrupt people that happily accept money from these companies and look the other way. Okay, I might have just lied. They happily accept money from these companies and then go out of their way to help them screw you over. With tax breaks, corporate socialism, thrown out court cases, anti-worker laws, crushing unions, doing nothing to prevent or curb the effects of inflation, and especially shrinkflation, the list goes on. We can make things better. It's not impossible. We just have to champion great ideas that help people and support individuals that fight on behalf of us, while also pushing strict punishments for those politicians, companies, and corporations that abuse and take advantage of us. Shrinkflation is a widespread deceptive practice that is used to obfuscate and confuse consumers. These companies go out of their way to blur reality, fudge the numbers, and then they pretend they have to do this while making record high profits year after year. It's complete garbage. The next time you need to purchase something or replace a product, take a photo of what you have at home and then compare it to what's there in the store. I bet a lot of you will be surprised by what you find. My name is All Time. Until next time, never stop searching.